members of the executive, we ask you to give them wisdom, understanding to be able to guide us. We ask you to lead us to take soft decisions that will glorify your holy name and will be of benefit to our institution and our profession. At the end of the day, Father, we may look back and say thank you because you are good to us. Thank you for hearing our prayers. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. The very solemn prayer has been rendered. We have the agenda before us. Can you please let us go through and see if you have any amendments to it, or you want to add any issue on the item on any other business. If there is no proposal for amendment, will somebody move for the adoption of this agenda? No, please, oh, somebody said aye. Okay, the second.
No, I'm not moving the motion. I'm only observing that my name is not there.
Your name is not where?
Agenda. Okay.
No, Mr. Chairman, sir. No, the agenda. Chairman, sir.
So your Mrs.
Amendment, sir.
Reverend.
Amendment, sir.
Oh, sorry, catch amendment, please. But just be on standby. Yes, amendment. Yes.
No. Chairman of the House.
Yes.
I want to suggest, sir, that item number 97 should be moved to any other business. The release of Sovereign Dr. N.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. 97, that's right. It should not be
a matter
arising because it never arose in our previous meeting. No, business of the day. Let it be other. It's very close to that. Just push it. I was putting on that. 8.1. But now, okay, please, there is a problem in the numbering. So, item 8 should be item 10. So, put it at 10.1. Thank you very much for the eagle eye. So, Reverend Mrs. Omashola, please can you now move your competent motion?
Past presidents, distinguished fellows, I want to thank you, sir, for giving me the floor. I've been away for quite a while. I'm so glad to be here. Having said that, I want to move that the agenda for this meeting, owing today of the Board of Fellows of the Convention of Surveyors, on Thursday, the 23rd of March 2023, Karen Silks, Tobacco, Abuja. After corrections and amendments, be adopted for a document we use for this meeting. So I will move.
Thank you very much. Seconded by Sonia Wabichi, NIS. You can see that the motion was very competent. Can you clap for her? Thank you very much. We go to item number 3, number 4, number 5. Sorry, number 4, Chairman's opening remarks. Well, I will combine my opening remarks with my classes. We received a copy of a letter written by a respected fellow drawing the attention of the NIS President to the provisions of the extant Constitution which stipulates
that 1, the president and the executive members are elected to office for a period of 2 years and must vacate their offices after 2 years. 2, the AGM of the institution must be held at the in the second quarter of the year. 2 letters were written to the president advising that the constitution should be respected. These letters and the reply by the president were posted on the BOF WhatsApp platform for information. While the constitutional provision for holding the AGM in the second quarter of the year has been complied with, the 2-year tenure stands breached. The reasons given for it notwithstanding, dear fellows, please note that the address by the BOF chairman on December 8, 2022, specifically paragraph 3.4 of the address, dealt with the timing of the annual general meeting. The petition referenced herein does further reinforce the position of the board, and the letters to the president is in line with our position. 3.4. Domestication of the salient points in the December 8 provisional letter. It is proposed that implementation of the salient points contained in the motivational lecture delivered at the December 8, 2022 BOF meeting and another such lectures be given urgent attention. It is also proposed that the implementation and the arrangement for future lectures be handled by the Research and Development Committee, which is one of the 3 additional standing committees being proposed by the Executive Committee. The others additional as go along. Board's investment portfolio. The Executive Committee interviewed and engaged an independent firm of the presidential election results. The Treasurer will give more details in this respect. The board is to decide, after we have received our security report, to decide the future of its investment in capital markets. The Executive Council Committee is of the opinion that BOF should rather invest in treasury bills, which is secured even when the profit is less attractive. But the board has a decision. Achievement of the 3rd BOF Executive Committee since August 2022. The Executive Committee could not hit the ground running because of handing over glitches. However, Senior Nasir Umar, NIS, a co-opted member of the ESO, the report of the committees set up in December, together with the decision to be made today, will further strengthen the program and the implementation of the agenda, which we hope will change the way the board and the NIS conduct their businesses. We also hope that the effects will start to be felt by the time we give the account of our stewardship and board's AGM. Standing committees. Dear fellows, the workings of the Board of Fellows and NIS are carried out at the committee level, committees level. The success of any administration is not measured by the performance of the committees. The performance of the committee is in turn based on the capacity and experience of each member of the committee. But sadly, each administration appoints, sometimes taking up to 1 year, new members to various committees at inception, throwing away the experiences garnered by members of previous committees. We should start to think out of the box and do things differently. NIS, EOF, administration is a continuum and should be seen to be so. In the light of the foregoing, we hereby propose for consideration some modification in the constitution and operations of the retained members will rub on the new members and facilitate the administration and the committees hitting the ground running. This concept has worked very well with the board screening committee, and we urge the board to consider and adopt this proposal. In addition to the modification of the constitution of committees, the executive committee is proposing addition of 3 new standing committees to be approved by the board, namely Finance and General Purpose Committee, which has been adopted, Research and Development Committee, and number 3, Nomination and Good Governance Committee. We are very familiar with the first 2 committees. However, the Nomination and Good Governance Committee will be saddled with following responsibility among others. 1, selecting the best fellows for specific committees, not for. Develop long-term strategy for the board. 3, best practices. 4, capacity building. 5, evaluating critical performance of committees, etc. Professional development. The BOF should be the engine for generating ideas for the institution, given the caliber of the members of its members. One of the cardinal objectives of the institution is to continually develop the capacity and the expansion of the frontiers of professional areas of practice. How have we fared in these areas in the recent past, and what are the future prospects? Over the past years, NIS has invested a lot of resources and energy and effort on advocacy and advocating for the evolving of the mapping policy, separation of the public content of engineering projects and other land-related projects, adequate budget allocation, surveying and mapping, and the holistic review and enforcement of the Survey Coordination Act. Dear fellows, how have we fared in these areas in the recent past? And where we want to be in the next 10 years or 20 years? It is sad to note that in the recent past, professional development has been abandoned for practically mundane issues which do not have and will never add values to our profession and its development. Forgotten. It is time the NIS, SOCON and OSGov wake up from our slumber to save our profession from the current state of amnesia and attrition. As has been said times without number, the NIS needs to establish a development policy, a 10-year development policy plan, which will be continually executed by a successive administration. It is only then we can hold any administration to task to account on its contribution while in office. Professional Regulation Body, Surveyors Council of Nigeria, SOCON. The NIS in the 70s called for the establishment of Surveyors Regulation Board, SOCON, but was given Surveyors Regulation Council of Nigeria, SOCON. And the reason for calling for this are two of them, two reasons. One, for two main reasons. These, to accelerate the creation of surveyors needed in the economy without sacrificing, without lowering standards. Two, to remove the instrument of registration of surveyors from the direct control of government. The first reason, to a large extent, is being achieved, but regrettably, with lowering of standards in the recent past. The second reason, the second objective, was lost right from the promulgation of the Survey and SOCON Act, as all the Surveyor Generals were incorporated into SOCON, were made members of council against what obtained in the licensing board era, when the SB served on the board in rotation. Since the Act came into being in 1989, the NIS had called for the review, for its review several times without success, due to the opposition of government officials in council, who are first and foremost surveyors and members of our profession. These same surveyors, after exiting SOCON, we applied for the fellowship of our institution, and almost invariably, we will be made fellows on a platter of gold. It is time we revisit the review of SOCON Act for the purpose of equity and proper workings of the Act to the benefit of the profession and for the purpose of many of the profession have left much to be decided. It is time the institution issue guidelines for the activities of our subgroups. Sorry. It is time the institution give guidelines on the activities of subgroups. The Constitution is very clear on members going to court on professional issues, professional matters. The NIS has internal conflict resolution mechanism and must be explored. NIS and SOCON must be given adequate opportunity to wade into issues impugning the professional practice before members take it upon themselves to seek redress in court, as the outcome of such cases may have unintended consequences on the profession. Interface with government, building capacity. Dear fellows, the world order is changing. The new political and economic alignments. There are new political and economic alignments. China is fast becoming an emerging world order leader. Technology is changing fast and becoming ubiquitous. Right in our country, no matter our individual political persuasion, there will be a change of government this year at the same time. We must latch onto the emerging realities, starting from home. Therefore, we must strategize to be relevant in the scheme of affairs of the nation from the onset. We should start by studying the federal government's budget and identify areas of relevance, making proposals to government on the application of geospatial data to solve intractable problems of insecurity, desertification, and good governance in all ramifications, stressing the need of geodata set in all areas of governance and development. We should also interface with government NDAs such as NITDA, EFCC, NDLA, and ICPC, and establish our relevance in their operations. Comments on the chairman and president address. Okay. Now, comments on the chairman's address. We want a few comments, but not many because we have a loaded program.
And then I saw Chukwuemeka Donatus and from Anambra State. I move for adoption of the chairman's address.
Seconded by Sobeo sir. Okay, thank you very much. So, the floor is open for comments. Yes, some of your past presidents, and then where is the microphone there?
Excuse me, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, Past President and fellows. It's very difficult now to say comments on loaded comment like this. Nearly every paragraph has something to say. We can't just study it now. We can't say anything now. I think we may leave it till later. Might be some of it might come up under other things. To start comments on it, we marked more than 10 items, and so also other people will do. So the address is not for us to get immediately. You've read it, you delivered it, and for us to start comments, whether it is good or it is bad, whether it's media or not media. So I don't know how you want us to do it.
Well, thank you very much. There may be some people who want
I like to. I think someone was specifically mentioned. I've looked through the agenda, but there's no way where I would be given that opportunity. So let me react. I like to say that in Stockholm, I don't think we are lowering standards. Instead, we are trying to take a holistic view of how we can improve the standard of the people who are registered. It may interest you to note that we have updated the guideline for the nomination of examiners. If you do 5 years, you should really go. Let another person come in. We are maybe I think 2004 or something. We will introduce CBT exams. Because if you look at our written exams, if you take the Enabling Act, for instance, you may be asked a question on only composition of the act and the duties of the functions of someone. But there are a lot of other areas that may not be touched. So those areas we would like to pick them up in the CBT exams. We are looking at and the setting of the examinations, at least the one we ran this year, we conducted this year, that examination was set that same morning. That nobody, as at that morning, knew the exam, the questions that will come out. We will house questions from different examiners, and we decide the questions that will be set, and they are typed immediately. Of course, I collect everybody's phone until we reach the hall and administer the questions. These are the very little things we are trying to do. We may look at creating a robust data bank that will help us get away from issues of plagiarism, especially in the folio exercise. I initiated, and I thank God that Osborne brought that idea, and NIS brought that idea. We have initiated a tripartite committee that will address SOCON, NIS, and Osborne to tackle common issues of surveying. Most importantly, if there are any contentious issues, we'll try to handle it in-house before. That's the much I can say for now.
Thank you very much.
We are trying our efforts to make sure that we do better than what we made on ground.
Now you are not talking. The eye cannot see itself but by reflection. Now you are saying you are trying to do something different. Yes, thank you. Our Past President Oswani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I direct your attention to page 3, last paragraph. That is where you mention strengthening the committees by retaining 50% of members and getting new members. And like you pointed out, that is what we have done with the screening committee and is doing very well. So I would for that suggestion. Whether you will need to put that in the review of the bylaws is another issue, which I think the board, the executive should look into, because it is profitable for us to. The office of the Surveyor General of the Federation, SOCON, and all Surveyor Generals. This is what you emphasize, the surveying and mapping policy for the country. You refer to such policy having been achieved by the estate surveyors. We started this program over 40 years ago. And each time the institution moves forward to do something about it, is our members in government that don't make it go forward. And I think it's time that those people concerned, especially the office of the Surveyor General of the Federation, the president of SOCOM, all Surveyor Generals should join hands with the institution to make this happen. Thank you.
Surveyor Cabo, I can smell you from the back.
It's quite okay, but the percentage put in there may create problem in due course. I would suggest that previous committee, not more than 2 persons, will be picked to join the new committee. The reason being that most of our committees are odd numbers. And if you say 50% and a committee that is 5, I wonder what it will yield. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
you. I noticed that as we were listing the government agencies we need to interface with, you somehow omitted
the army. Oh, sorry,
the military. Sorry. Not only just the military, but you know they have some mapping capabilities, and even the hydrography, especially the Navy. More importantly, security. We spent the whole day in NPS Enugu branch discussing the issue of safety of surveyors, how we can use the military to safeguard the surveyors when they go into the bush. Lately, we have had 3 kidnapping instances in Enugu, around Enugu, Udi northeast and Udi northwest. In fact, the last one, a surveyor had to cough out 2 million naira in order to rescue some of the workers who went to do job for him. So security is serious, and we must not leave them out in the government agencies we need to interface with. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that suggestion, and we will include it as part of the areas we are going to interface. But what we intend to do, ESCO has decided that we will constitute, well, it could be ESCO and maybe a few other persons outside, right? So we pay visits to these agencies. Before we go, we prepare a memo stating how and where we can be relevant. We will not just go over there and say we are here, we can do this, we can do that. We want is something that we documented. We've been to NIS before, I think when I was the president of NIS, and we got very, very warm reception. Our problem is continuity, and we must be able to establish this. Okay, I think the last one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have observed over
What's your name, sir?
Dakodalu from Lagos.
I've observed over time that being a top advisory body of this noble institution of ours, our discussions here normally are guided by the chairman who is elected to lead us and also to lead us in these deliberations. And usually, when I say you, the seat usually give us topics of very high importance, and this should not be trivialized. And as such, I wish to implore, sir, if you do not mind, because I always see you as a former Secretary General that always was hypostyling to underscore the importance of data. Let's not always have this 2-3 days, your speech before the meeting, and let's always have them copied out. Now we've got subventions and we have other means of raising money, minutes and the chairman's speech. Maybe when we get, or if you permit me, I'll also not want us to trivialize our sitting here. What do we have in place? This is a top advisory body. You have given us this speech. By tradition, the president of the institution must follow with his speech. He's not here, and there isn't anyone as to why he's not here. Do we just go around like that? Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. I will respond to the last statement. I just got information from the Secretary General of the institution that the president is not here. Quote. Yes, Madam.
We made enough to find out much later what exactly is wrong with him than turning it into a circumstance.
Noted. Thank you very much. That's why we have mothers around. Well, I think that we move to the next item on our agenda. The secretary will take some apologies.
No, sorry, some observations.
Observation?
Yes. Corrections.
No, that is not.
No, it's general one, sir.
Okay.
The attendance didn't follow the seniority. Sorry, I missed that. Someone passed, so I take apology for that. Thank you.
Thank you. So, once the minutes have been read, all we have now is correct. Information, please.
Please, information from the hospital that is now stable, sir. From Teams.
Can somebody call the president to find out too?
One of our members that has just been meeting this boat, we feel happy when we land at the coming state. The health of our president is very important to us. We should let us know the state of his health. I don't know whether the deputy president was informed. The deputy president close to him. No, it is important. He is the president, and it is this morning. I inquired whether he sent an apology, what is wrong with him, until the secretary came. If it's something we have to take up, it shouldn't be a laughing matter. He's our president. Is to give an address, is to come here. Is he stable? Is he unstable? We should know.
Or did he just ignore?
Oh, we did not.
I'm asking the welfare officer to go and get us more information on our president. Thank you.
To the secretary this morning, when I read through my own minutes, and I asked him a simple question. The bylaw says that attendance at all meetings of the board must be listed according to seniority. And I asked him, has that bylaw been repealed? If yes, when? If no, why was this thing listed haphazardly? I'm aware that the secretary has got up to tell us that he takes full responsibility. He told me he didn't know. The reason I've got up to ask this question is, if he didn't know, he didn't know whether it's been repealed or not. Is there anybody here who can tell me if that part of our bylaws has been repealed? If it has not, please, let's get this thing sorted out properly. You can go through the minutes, but it has to be reproduced where the names are written according to seniority. For example, I saw number 1 here is Ahibe. I don't know why he became a fellow. But I look for Professor Fajaroko.
He's the tallest one.
It doesn't matter. I look for Professor Fajaroko. His name is not even there. Where? Number 72. Is that proper? This is a professional organization. So please, it's something I hold very seriously. And my counsel to Mr. Secretary General or Mr. Secretary, you must know the bylaws by heart as well as the Constitution. Thank you.
We take it seriously, and I join the secretary in admitting the error. The buck stops on the chairman's table, and we will not repeat the same next time. We will reproduce the minutes and send on the platform. Thank you. Thank you very much. Those of you who don't see your name, maybe you look properly because of mixed up.
Chairman, sir.
Yes.
Secretary, you wrote my name correctly on the attendance list. But in the main body of the report, you got my first name wrong. Please correct. Thank you.
All right. Okay, just taking. Any other corrections? Yes, at the back.
Chairman, sir, my name is not on the list.
Let's see whether you are a person or you are a ghost.
Akinde is there, sir, number 62. Akinde Abiodun Akinde. Yes.
So what is the complaint about?
Maybe that is another.
No, number 62.
Akinde Abiodun Akinde.
So sit down and don't waste our time.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, my name is not on the list.
okay, yes, and I'm sure you are. I saw you, although you didn't stay at home.
I'm happy that the chairman saw me.
But you didn't know how the meeting. Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. I think we are, in a way, trying to indict our secretary.
Bring down.
He's not seeking.
Somebody at the back said, raise the hand.
was equally with
You can second why.
Okay.
Thank you, my chairman. In the absence of any other corrections, I hereby move motion for its adoption. I say remain LCK. Thank you.
No, I'm let's wait second.
Mr. President of the House, I, Surveyor Joseph Alu, support the motion moved by Surveyor LCK.
Who?
Joseph Alu Ode.
Imo.
Microphone.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I have a number of comments on these minutes, and I will be glad if you allow me just to go through it, so I don't keep on standing up or sitting down. On page 4, I think, item number 6. 6.1, NIS PC1. Can somebody please tell us the position of PC1 as of now? That's number 1. Number 2, item number 6 on the same page. It reads, a retraction of the purported defamatory statement was published in the Punch newspaper dated 9 September 2022. Barrister Obamoke rejected the publication because it was not published in the 2022 Annual General Meeting Report booklet. Underline that sentence. Secondly, the council, however, agreed that the executive should not reply the latest Barrister Obamoke's letter. Why? Number 1, why was the retraction not published in the AGM booklet? I wish the president was there. We had to attend, I had to go to Benin 4 times to meet with this gentleman because of careless talk and the problems the institution was put into by one of our members. And one of the conditions for withdrawing the case against the institution was that the thing should be published in the AGM booklet report. So why was it not published there? That's number 1. Number 2, in my own leadership training, we were told that if you receive an official letter, it must be replied within 24 hours. So why would council say that a letter written by a lawyer whom we offended, whose character we defamed, why would they not even acknowledge it? To me, the morality is not even there. And where will our integrity be as an institution when we have such a letter and somebody says, don't even acknowledge it? I think we need to watch what we do. Going forward, you have to bear with me because I am getting old. Yes, I'm getting old. I am old. On the lighter note, Mr. Chairman, this first section, it says he ended his speech with this Igbo proverb: what the elders see while sitting, the young is an Igbo proverb. Sir, who says it's an Igbo proverb? Because I grew before I was 10, I knew this proverb. So I don't know anybody saying it's an Igbo proverb. Sir, on a more serious note, on the same page, item number, I think it's 10-2. Kwara State Body of Fellows. The chairman mentioned the request received from Kwara State Body of Fellows that Surveyor Stephen A. Alabi should be given a concessional elevation to fellowship. Why? I didn't read whatever it is. What did Alabi do that Daramola did not do? What did Alabi do that Rotimi did not do? They are all surveyors of Kwara State, and in fact, Rotimi was one-time vice president of our institution. You know, when I was chairman of this board, I came with a list of people that ought to have been considered for whatever reason. I know that when Alabi was there and Daramola and Rotimi, what's this guy's name? I forgot now. The chairman for many years of Kwara State Branch, the late Ilesomi. Ilesomi was there. Yes, Ilesomi was there. Any of these people who were his senior at that time could have been fellows, but they didn't. But they are not the only one. These people are not the only one. The reason I'm getting up is it is not right to start singling people out for fellowship. I know that the president pushed PAO Adeleye to be fellow and he was granted fellowship. Why? I am aware that PAO Adeleye with Ogade Bekun started the constitution of this institution initially, but for whatever reason, the man fell out. My concern is we should take all these people as a group and deal with the issue once and for all. What did Alabi do that Dan Izenwa did not do? Dan Izenwa hosted the whole of the institution in 1983 at the World Conference. What did Alabi do that Akisa Edelakari did not do? He paid for the publication of the abstract of decisions of AGM several years. So, my contention is, let us put all these people together and look at the case holistically, rather than being personal and putting people that we know that we have personal relationship with. I suggest, Mr. Chairman, as is put there, that we compile the list of such people, send them to the honors committee to look into. Because if you want to put this thing, if you want to start singling people out, I can give you reasons why some of them should not even be considered. So please, my suggestion is, let us put all those in that category, all of them put together. Let us look at them and then give them fellowship. Otherwise, it will be an abuse of office to start singling people out and doing that for them. I ask the question, where does the board derive its power to interfere in the affairs of the body of state fellowship? And nobody has been able to answer that question. Because when the original decision was taken, even the chairman of the board at that time was at that meeting. The Lagos State Body of Fellows has not preached any good. So I don't see why the board should now stand up as the big master to tell them what to do and what not to do. Each of us has the constitution. Every state has its own constitution. And bylaws has its own bylaws. All that it needs is that it should not be in conflict with that of the NIS. So please, I ask you again, where does the board derive the power to stop the Lagos State Branch Body of Fellows from carrying out the decision is took on this matter, because that's the one that led to this decision. And if they don't have such powers, then that directive they give should be null and void. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. At least some of the issues that you raised. You are asking what is the situation with PC1? PC1, we are just square one. Property is there, it's not let out, and see why we haven't, because there's no, not that we don't want to let out, because there are no, okay, so are you hearing me now? Okay. I was saying that PC1 is yet to be let out. Somebody at the background said, why? If you don't have a tenant, you cannot rent something that you have, there are no tenants. And we don't want to again fall into what we went through with somebody who administered the building for so many years. So we want to leave, the suggestion is to leave it open, make a general announcement or advertisement that this property is out for let, and any estate surveyor anywhere in Nigeria who can bring tenants should do. Because in the past, we are stuck with we are stuck with it because it drove away people that wanted to inspect the place. And we should not go into that kind of arrangement anymore. Simply somebody and say, oh, come and do this for us, and then he stands on it. Whether he gets somebody or not, until his terms of office expires, NIS cannot do anything about it. That's the issue with PC1. Defamation. Well, I cannot answer that question because I was not at council. But perhaps, to me, the council of NIS is really my membership. It affords me decision taking at that, whether it's teleguided or it's people who are not proactive or not really doing things out of deep thinking. I don't know. Number one, you have two people. That's the kind of.
You will appear that this decision was taken out of sympathy and the age. Then, as the past president said, what did this person do that he said? We must have criteria. I remember in Lagos when this was the president, the chap of the elected, he brought this type of thing. And I remember that Senior Olatunde Castle was alive and a lot of other. And we asked the question that our guys asked. What are the reasons for this?
So those are the reasons I'm giving to you. Can you let me now continue? Very good. I am giving the reason that you wrote a letter and so on and so forth. Now, the major reason that he did that others did not do, others in his position abandoned the institution for years. They don't come, they don't appear. That's a major difference. If you are still in sympathy with NIS, you come to their meetings, even at your old age as 80, you are chairman of a committee, it means you are identified with that institution. But if you don't identify, you don't expect us to go to your house and go and bring you and say, don't come and take this. If it is a decision now, I come back to the second issue. You now ask me what is so and so did that you did not do. The fact that by their own volition, they decided to stay away from our institution. They didn't drive them away. If somebody is owed to attend AGM, but he said, oh, in my state, I must attend meetings and I must be a member of the committee. It means because at old age, you are given the permission not to attend. If you like, you not attend. So it's absorbed from attending the AGMs. But he has been consistently, with what we saw, attending the state branch meetings. So that's a singular thing that he did that others did not do. Now, it's just a fact, not really, but if somebody now says he did it because out of sympathy, you know me, I'm not a person that sympathizes with people. I'm not supporting, I don't sympathize with people on principle. So it's not a matter of sympathy, it's a matter of fact. Now, I will call you. Are you please sit down? The board to set precedent that when you are certain age, don't even come to our meetings, don't identify with us. So be it. It's not my decision. It's the decision of the board. So I don't have anything against that. Yes, sorry, Mr. Commissioner. No.
Going to do with failure. Yeah. Two, prior to this period, if he's 80 years old, definitely in his 40s, he will have been hearing about fellowship. 50s, he didn't happen. So what's the problem? So, sir, I know you are very, very strict, person, and I used to admire your tenacity and your veracity and your whatever city. To see. We have a saying in my place that Maya follow man make people. That's what you can do. That is not Igbo. I told you. That's when Kai sees somebody he knows, he will bend his head. I don't know what's happening now. So please, that city we are going to, sir, I am not too sure. If he's not going to be coming for meetings at 80, he collects people. Is it to be put when the person goes to heaven? It's a fellow. So I don't know what fellow is going to do for him. I'm trying to follow the path of my past chairman, Reverend Oswani. So please, if we're going to agree on something, if you didn't apply for fellow 40, 50, 60, now 80, decide to apply for fellow, where is the office to inspect? Or just over the honorary fellow? Okay. Thank you, sir. That's my concern. What are you going to do with the fellow?
Thank you very much for that. There is no age limit to getting a fellow. There is no age limit for becoming a fellow. Now, the idea, the other issue you don't will not be known with this. It was not his own making. His state brand. I haven't seen what he has done for his brand. Applied on his behalf. And we didn't dash it to him. We said now, go and pay all the prerequisites. So, the old man has no money, the state branch is going to, we don't know how they're going to get it. They are going to pay for him. So they applied for him. So that is the difference. Thank you very much. Yes, Professor, sorry, there's something before you. There's something I missed about Lagos. Now, you are talking, sir, I'm addressing my past president, and I don't want anybody to talk to me when I'm addressing him.
Not in the past president.
No, not in the past president. Or his former president. Now, sir, Lagos issue. At the Board of Fellows, the body of fellows, Board of Fellows. The Board of Fellows, the body must not be at variance. The Board of Fellows. Now, the Lagos State was trying to take money for recommendation of candidates. That is what we were asking for at that level. And we said, look, these people, they at board level, we have listed the things that are prerequisites. After we have, which is in the bylaw. You cannot now say, with something that is not in the bylaw, you are now saying, come and pay for signature, which means that we are selling the signature. So when somebody pays you £1 million and say, please sign for me, I'm not saying they will do that, but it's akin to that. So we are now saying, you can take the money after they have become fellows, but not for recommendation. It's going to be at variance with the body of board of fellows. Thank you very much.
8.1 investment. I remember we had an investment with the nutrient with bridge security, and that they were asked to return 2 million naira on nutrient to to the board. I did not see anywhere it was mentioned that it has been returned, or what is the situation.
Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Yeah, on still investment. I know in your old report you mentioned about the degradation of the shares at the moment. You know, shares, they rise and fall. We should not be hasty to say we dispose of them and go into treasury bills. We should allow it to appreciate. After that, we can start to close up that business and go into any other business. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will start from the last question. It was just for mention. We didn't say we are going to start now because we have employed a consultant, a broker. We go and find out actual number of shares that we have and what are their status here and there. It's after we have gotten that and we are sure of what we have, then the board can take a decision. The ESCO cannot take a decision on what to do. We can only recommend. Now, coming back to the issue of the 2 million naira, that was the first issue we tackled when we came to office. We wrote to Bridge Security. They said they had the money and that they were supposed to buy nutrients. They were supposed to buy micronutrients.
Yeah, they bought that.
And we told them that they cannot buy micronutrients because it's not listed. And we said, look, don't do that. They now said they've gotten the money back. We now said, return the money to us. The latest we got of it now is that they have used the money without informing us to buy shares of our Nigerian breweries. And we are yet to verify that because we do not have the purchase or any details. When they sold that one, then they bought, they're supposed to have written to us and said, look, this is the amount we have bought, or this is your share, and so on and so forth. You see, that's one of the reasons why we employ security to be able to know what's happening. The open is shrouded. And I cannot come here and tell you and speak with both sides of the mouth. I want to be straight and let you know what is the position of our shares, and when we know that, then we can continue. Thank you.
Yeah, just a minute. Now, we have to be very serious. This is investment. This is money earned that we earn other, I don't want to say from fellows. And we want to make sure that this money does not go out of our purse without our knowledge. I think a broker cannot use our money, cannot invest our money without our instruction. We take exception to that. I do investment. The broker cannot go, or my manager cannot go and do something, committing me without telling me. And we are looking at it and laughing over it. No, because I expect that when the executive heard this news, they should have done something very serious about it. So that the man will not, tomorrow he will tell you he has sold the other shares and use it to buy another shares. He cannot do that one. Before our money will disappear. Thank you.
Yes. The unfortunate aspect of this is we don't even know where the appointment ledgers of this security is.
part of the last executive. Immediately we saw this, we wrote them, and in reply, we said we want to check our accounts. There was no return of that money. And again, even the treasurer who's in charge now, called them personally to ask that question, who is protecting you? Initially they said they didn't see my letter, but when I posted it to them again, because I wrote them officially, we request for that 2 million, that as at that date, they informed us there was no 2 million in our accounts. So we are not taking this, and that's why we have employed a person who will over see everything, overhaul everything, and then we will bring you the reports.
Usually discuss certain issues and we wouldn't finalize it, what are we to advise the NIS. And we will just discuss and get the board to do if we advance straight to NIS. The issue of Obamoge was raised. What are we? The council advised this. The council that did not know the genesis of all these things. Past president traveled to Benin. He went 4 times. We discussed. We pleaded with this man because we knew the implication. The NIS did not take it because the way they are looking at it, I think it's something. The smallest, when they meet with the smallest council that we might take, will charge us. Who is going to bear it? All these things we have to do. My advice is to still write. Maybe we still meet with him, and then it will have to come in the report coming. I want to say that to put it in the incoming AGM brochure or whatever. We have to admit if we are wrong. We shouldn't use younger that we are this and that, something that we are not. We shouldn't. Secondly, to raise an issue, we may still add, when you are having over 80 member council members, what is are we running a company with shares where you have to have board members and all these things? The chairman from the state is a member of the council, and you have council rep from the state. If the constitution says that they were not reporting, the council members were not reporting whatever decision the council is taking, why should we be having duplicate? And the money we are spending on them comes from the same cause. We shouldn't be sentiments on all these things. We should take this thing by the board.
Please let us go. The time is going to allow 1 o'clock now. Hello? 1 o'clock, go to. Good evening. Each of the committees. Okay, let's start the committee on the German speech. Can we have the report, please? Summary. Yes, let's so let's present.
I really don't know how to give you a summary of this report, so I'll have to read through. And our comments are numbered from 1 to 10. Number 1 is effective and transparent administrative and financial guidelines. And A, the committee is of the opinion that strong, easy to follow financial and administrative guidelines should be put in place for the board. Such guidelines must be faithfully followed to the letter. Once this is done at the board, a similar document should be prepared and forwarded to the institution for modification and use. The provisions of the guidelines should be adhered to strictly, and any infraction should be met with prompt and adequate punishment that will deter non-compliance in future. B. The Finance and General Purpose Committee of both the board and the institution should be made to follow the above guidelines to the letter, with the responsibility of compliance placed squarely in the hands of the board chairman or NIS president. as the case may be. Non-compliance will then be seen as a deliberate attempt by the leadership to sidetrack the guidelines and by extension.
If you have your phone here, you can read it on the platform. Thank you.
And by extension, the constitution or bylaw. 2. Annual general meeting and conference. Over the years, the AGM conference had been held within the second quarter of the year, as expressly stated in the Constitution. While respecting the right of members to their religious beliefs, such biases should be paid down in the affairs of the institution. There have been instances in the past where adequate arrangements were made for people observing their religious rights when such occur during our functions or events. The institution should decide on the window within the second quarter, which should be strictly adhered to in fixing our AGM conference. Perhaps sticking to a period between mid-April and mid-May will allow for easy planning and enough room to maneuver. Once this is adopted and adhered to, the issue of tenure of office may not be on the front burner again. 3. PC1. PC1 buildings of Secretariat. A. The recommendation of the NIS Council on this issue is quite commendable. In addition to that, however, if there is financial discipline, a lot of money spent on allowances for some ESCO members can be plowed back into the repayment for investors in the buildings reconstruction. Investors have sacrificed a lot and should be paid their investment with minimum delay. The issue of interest can be worked on after all investors have been paid. If there is noticeable transparency, some investors may even be encouraged to forgo the interest of investment while their names are written on a show somewhere in the National Secretariat. B. There is need to interact with the FCDA on the allocated land along the airport road. The approval given for the design will soon become outdated in line with the policies or development guidelines of the FCT. If meaningful infrastructures cannot be in place in the foreseeable future, then there is a serious need to call some concessions for the institution. C. If the institution is desirous of acquiring property within the developed parts of FCT, the institution must show seriousness and financial transparency and put aside between 70 and 75% of the purchase price before asking for the buy-in of the board and other bodies in the profession. 4. Allowances payable to the elected officers. The other proposed administrative and financial guidelines should resolve everything about this issue if the religious stay implemented. The proposed administrative guidelines should be specific on how many times elected officers can visit the secretariat on a monthly basis and for how long. The importance of the executive secretary cannot be overemphasized. To fully grasp what's informed in the Recommendation Act and the executive secretary be employed about the cost effectiveness, the presidential reports need to be located and give you due publicity. 5. Need to overhaul and reposition the board. A. Apart from cooperating with the board training committee to ensure that two quality surveyors are admitted in the professional paper, the ratio recommended in the constitution of the institution should be strictly adhered to. B. Attendance at board meetings and functions must be determining factors of some issues concerning fellows, but not in all cases. Economic realities of the country, fellows' ages, and other parameters need to be considered. The structure needs to be put in place, however, to ensure that newly invested fellows are active in the board. A situation where some fellows have not attended board meetings for years, they still enjoy the benefits of board membership, should be looked into with this partnership. C. An effective reporting and operation system to streamline mode of reporting by bodies of fellows systems as well as robust website guidelines should be put in place. State bodies of fellows should play vital roles in ensuring the effectiveness of welfare policies of the board. 6. Function of the institution. The board should work with the institution to avoid functional amendments that further deepen our differences and reduce context of institutions to acts of regional balance. Competence and merit are what will move the institution forward. 7. Decorum of members during AGM conference. The trend of events since the AGM 2021 in Abuja should be a source of worry to all members of the institution. A situation whereby a sitting president or past president or fellow or indeed any member is head coach during our meetings is most unfortunate and unprofessional. How did we get to this impasse? There will always be differences of opinions, but we should never forget to say that even among those, there is honor. We cannot afford to continue in these unfortunate experiences that we had in 2021 and 2022. There must be deterrent measures against unruly behaviors. 8. Capacity building through advocacy and public enlightenment. Presentation of papers, expert talks during board meetings, as was the case on December 2022, should be encouraged once in a while. 9. NIS Sponsor Limited. Efforts so far made to resuscitate the moribund company are commendable. However, has the institution identified which problems made the operation of the company to go into coma? If the consult is looking at solving a loan, there may be clash of interest. Once revived, the consult should be run clearly as a viable profit.
To your hotel and back. Then, for those who come by road, if it is the neighboring state, the amount is recommended. And for those who are coming back from within the state, an amount was recommended as follows. For FM, we looked at the current state of air transportation now, and that's the chairman will be entitled to 200,000 naira for to and fro. The airport taxi was moderated to 30,000. It may be more, but we just said, okay, let's, because the current estimate of the opinion that the allowances paid or the reimbursable pay is a little bit high. That's okay, if whatever 30,000 cannot do, if he's able to get something, if he booked on time, might be able to get something from the air ticket that will cover that transportation. Therefore, road estate, that is outside the state where the thing is happening, we are recommending 30,000 to and fro for the person. Then for those within the state, we are recommending 20,000. And that goes down to, from the vice chairman down, is 170,000 naira for air tickets. And same goes for air taxi to and fro in 4 ways to go to where you can augment from the air tickets recommended. For the road, it's the same amount, 30,000, and for within the state, the same amount, 20,000. That's it. For committee members, they are also honorary members of this board. They are also entitled to the same thing. They are coming from outside this state. If they have any assignment to do in Abuja, like we are coming from any state who are members of committees, they will also be entitled to the same allowance. There is no difference between what the ESCO gets and the committee members also have. Once for accommodation, because we have negotiated amounts here now in this currency, the chairman will be entitled to 35,000 naira. There are some hotels who will not be able to get that. But we felt since this has been negotiated, and we also believe that ESCO will also once in a while have to intervene to negotiate if it's possible. If it's when it's not possible, the difference will be paid by the ESCO. For the president, for the chairman, 35,000. For the vice chairman, 30,000 recommended. For the secretary and other members, it's 25,000 naira. Then for welfare, just like this happened today, somebody falls sick when you do it, because sometimes you spend about 4 or 5 days here. Even if it goes wrong, for welfare of the ESCO member or a committee member that come for the program, for any activities of the board, they're entitled to 30,000 naira for welfare. Then for local roads, 15,000 was recommended, and that's all. So the only difference now is that sitting allowance,
the duty allowance that was initially in the assigned in the paper given to us earlier have been removed. There is nothing different between duty allowance and running and the sitting allowance. So now there will be no need for duty allowance, but for sitting allowance, if you are spending, we recommended about 25,000 per day. It was to the opinion of the ESCO that 25,000 might become outrageous. If you are spending a day, which means you come yesterday, do the meeting today and go back to the group, we will pay you maximum of 50,000 naira and 60 allowance. But if you are spending day beyond that day, whether even if you spend 10 days, you'll be given a flat, a lump sum of 100,000 and 60 allowance because you came for the program and whatever you came to do, we are regarding the group and 60 allowance, 100,000 naira lump sum to be given to the members, either ESCO or committee members. So that is what we have recommended. When I said for the past chairman, past board chairman, we increased it from 150,000 naira that was initially recommended by the approval for 200,000, and that is to cover for transportation, accommodation, and welfare. So, and for past president, was increased from 100,000 to 170,000 to cover for transport, accommodation, and welfare. Then, these days, because we do Zoom meetings most times, and I say, okay, if we do Zoom meeting, because we are going to run data, like most times we have had meetings, we never had less than 5 hours. And I say, for a month, even if you have 10 Zoom meetings in a month, give you 25,000 naira for that month. Any month you don't go through meeting, nothing will be given to you. For committee members, it's the same thing. So that is hereby presented to your house to the board for consideration and approval. Thank you, sir. And standing in for the chairman of the committee, who is Sonny Issa, FNI. Yes, I will send it. I will send it.
Clap for thank you very much for this job done. I want comments from the floor because it's your document, it's not our document. So comments, critique. We are not just saying the comment to chairman.
For adoption. Because if we approve it in principle, I mean, we have approved it. That's my
Okay, we any other comments? Any contrary opinion? There are two motions now on the floor. And when? Yeah? Okay. The first one was seconded by Clap. Somebody supported it here.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I was going to support it with a little addition.
Okay.
And that is to the effect that all the allowances due to the present ESCO members should be paid immediately. We cannot be depleting their personal bosses when they are working for us. It's on that note that I wanted to support motion by Pastor Eden. Thank you.
That is a principle now.
Members below 75, those above 75, the premium that is supposed to be paid for them can be added to that benevolence account to boost it up. Then from there, 2 million may not be feasible, but maybe like 1 million for everyone that is entitled at the time of demise or sickness. That is the suggestion of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sodo Adesoya, NIS. The summary of it is that if you are 75 years, or about 75 you lose any benefit in case of accident or death. So they now want us to have a benevolent, semi-benevolent fund because it's not for everybody. By keeping some money in treasury bill or fixed deposit and taking some profit from that. But what I don't understand is that you said we should have the money that is due to them. They have lost the money that is due to them. The premium. No.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Can you allow to understand the principal position of the welfare committee? Everybody is insured below 75, and the institution pays the premium every year. That is settled. And during that period, you might be entitled to something like 5 million naira, or how much is it?
2 million.
You are entitled to 2 million naira if anything happens to you. So if you are under 75, you get 2 million naira. But after 75, you are no longer insurable. So what?
You are liability.
So what the welfare committee recommended to the board before was that there has to be an in-house arrangement where those after the age of 75 has to be paid. They are making it a bit more sophisticated by creating a benevolent fund to take care of those above the age of 75. And if I remember correctly, some fund was put there, and the idea is to increase the base of that fund to accommodate anybody that qualifies. And in fact, what the board should aspire to do is to continue to increase that base up to the time where possible, that even if you are over 75, you will still get what you will have got if you are below 75. But you will have to wait. If you die now, if I die now, I don't get anything, or I get $500,000 or whatever. But if I die in 20 years' time, when the base will accommodate it, you understand? Then the goal should be that you will still get whatever you will get as if you were 75. That's my understanding of what is being done. And you are saying that part of the money that should go to that fund would be what you will have paid as premium yearly. It should go to that fund. And part of the interest of the investment should also go to that fund, such that the base will be such that will accommodate whatever happens after 75. Thank you. I hope that is that your understanding. Is that okay?
He said something about if maybe in 20 years when the base has increased, I don't think we will keep records because that's my understanding, that when the base will increase and it can now accommodate to be able to pay somebody that's above 75 years what those who are 75 or below are being paid now.
Everybody else.
Yes.
He's over 75, but he paid equal money
yes.
somebody before 75.
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is that because we don't have so much, that the bank doesn't have so much to invest. Now, yes. But if we are now, we don't pray that maybe we have so much debt like that, but if we are now combining this, how do we handle that? Because that's my understanding of what you're saying, that we will wait till we have that base to be able to pay that person.
No, that's not what I said. just like DRS here, and it has not been able to do it. So, Chudek Kasim set up a committee of 2 people, SG Wokema as the chairman, and myself as the secretary. And we were supposed to look at this insurance piece. And we got so many people, in fact, I traveled on my own to Enugu 3 times to sort these things out. And we were able to get and that was how the matter died. This is why it is important for us to pray for our leaders. Because all that was needed to have been done at that time is to have told who opened the land not to take part. And those who don't think they will be killed to subscribe to the thing. If we had done that, the base you and I are now talking about will be so enormous to accommodate wherever you want to go. So, I wish you were here. That contradicts the basis of what we are trying to do. The insurance company, when we started this business, only accommodate people up to the age of 70. But because we were many, they extended it to 75. And they were the people, in fact, I must say, thank this guy, our secretary in Lagos State now, Adeleke, because he was the one who came to throw some light on this issue to make the board even start this exercise. And they were the people that recommended that once you are 75, you are not entitled to anything. But that, because you are not insurable, in fact, 70 was the age the issue was. But after brainstorming, they suggested to us that we can accommodate those people in-house. They have now perfected it to say we create a benevolent fund for those people because they paid. Everybody paid 100,000 naira. Yes. So why should I lose just because I didn't die? So the issue of cashing your money, in your pocket before you die should not even be accommodated at all. If it's done when you die, the institution should be able to give something. I think it's important for me to explain the pros and the cons. So don't come and say you want to get your money and put it in your pocket so that you can enjoy it. It's meant for the survivors. Thank you.
Now, what we do now is we will start that benevolent fund and we'll try and see if we can put that with the 2 million naira. Welfare, are you with me? I said we'll open that account, that fund. We start with 2 million naira and so we can go. And when people reach the age of 70,
rights, obligations, and privileges of fellows of this noble institution. In doing that, we rely on 3 key items. The first one is the extract from the speech delivered by the chairman, Board of Fellows, here on 8th of December 2022. The phrases are 1. Mr. Chairman, Board of Fellows stressed that we cannot continue to pretend that all is well with our institution. 2, he said the integrity and decorum are at their lowest ebb. 3, a minimum of 60% of the members of NIS are fellows of this institution. 4, We pride ourselves as the conscience of the profession. 5, we must live up to the expectation of high esteem. 6, we must start doing things differently. 7, fellows are themselves as remote officers of the institution. 7, we must continue to be very active, advising, advocating, promoting, and harmony. 9, the institution must live up to expectation. 10, conscience of the profession must reflect in our individual conduct. 11, fellows must be held accountable for their conduct. We also rely on the bylaws of the Board of Fellows. The first one is section 14 that provides that fellows shall be recognized with profound respect at all official gatherings. The second one, reserved seats shall be provided for all fellows. Third, section 23 of the bylaws provides very little where under is code of honor is written expression of what is good, just, what is right in the profession. Apart from that, we also reference to the Constitution of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. First one, section 3.1.1, subsection 7, that a fellow shall be entitled to the use of designation FNIS. Second, section 5.2.1, subsection 2 and 3, reserve the positions of the President, Deputy President, and Vice Presidents in the NIS ESCO to be occupied by fellows of the institution. The bylaw of the NIS also reserves for fellows in section 2.1 under protocol the position serial number 8 or 8 on the protocol list during functions. We rely on all these to guide us in the shoes of works and for proper preparation of this preliminary report, which I started to present on behalf of the chairman of the committee, Surveyor Okokon USM, who is not here on health reason. Do our work based on 2 other categories. The first one under the category is the introduction. Here we try to define what rights, what obligation, and what privileges really meant. And we have the simple meaning of rights to mean entitlement. Then we also discovered that the simple meaning of obligation means the duty, and the privilege means liberty. In treating that, we try to look at, in summary, the opinion to be able to recommend to this board what rights, obligations, and privileges are. I will now have what I want to read as summary of our findings and hereby recommend for consideration, adoption, and possibly approval. Under the right, 1. The position of the Vice President, Deputy President of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors at national level, Chairman of the State Branch, where a fellow is interested in the position of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors at leadership cadre, shall be reserved for and should only be occupied by a fellow or fellows of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. 2. Committee chairmanship positions at national level and state branches of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors shall be reserved for and occupied by fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, except in the state where there is or are fellows.
When we are reviewing the bylaw, we will look at those suggestions, pick the very salient ones, refine them, and incorporate them in the bylaw for you to go through again. So let's leave it as it is. Thank you.
Next.
Fellows, screening committee report. No, matters arising. Yes. There are matters arising. Anybody, any comments on that? Whether any matters arising? Before I raise my own matters arising from there. No. Okay. My fellows, I want to thank you for your patience. We will soon go for lunch, but let us rush through this before we go for lunch, because after going for lunch, it will be difficult to settle down again for business. The only matters arising from there are two anyway. One, we have not considered UNESCO. The other one we considered it. The first one is when we are presenting the result of the 2022 exercise to you, we step down a case, and I'm sure you don't know the person we are talking about, except those who mark. If you know, you're on your own. If you know, you're on your own. You are a busybody. Now, we decided that we are going to refer the matter to the ethics committee. However, till today, there is no ethics committee. And that is why our suggestion of not removing everybody from committee is very, very germane. Don't remove everybody. The incoming president will have somebody people to work with. So you just add a number of people to it, and it makes life much easier for everybody. So we don't have a committee to report to. So we look at the issue passionately and look at how we got to that level and the records that we have. And when we look at the records,
Actually, the gentleman passed, but we reported the case because we want to make it a point that, ESCO looked at this dispassionately, and we said we don't want to set a precedent whereby people think that the fellowship of the NIS is for sale. And we made that point. Now, having done that, we now look at the matter, and if we had been able to visit, send the matter through ESCO of NIS because we cannot go directly to ethics committee. We first of all have to go through the executive committee of NIS, and then they now send it to the ethics committee. We are not able to do that. And when we are doing that, we made a point of view to consult some legal mind issue. And when we consider it, tell them like, look, this is the situation, and if you go ahead, what are the legal implications? Because if you say somebody does certain things, you should put yourself in the position of that person. How will that person react? And if that person reacts, what is the implication on the institution? So, the advice that we are given is that, look, you have to be very careful about this situation, because if we have implication on the board, on our process too, messing ourselves up. So we are now informing the board that we have lifted the embargo, and we are recommending that the board consider the case closed. Thank you. That the gentleman just allowed to go. Yeah, no, please.
We need to move a motion.
Okay, we move that. Okay. So, I have now presented it to the board. For the board to agree, we need a motion, and then to be seconded, and we vote on it to be on record. I can't go.
We had a French lecturer called Mr. Saki. He told us that in France, when you want to eat, they start with the main course. He said, in Nigeria, you don't go up. So what am I saying, sir? We've been here for
3 hours.
For 3 hours now. We should have gotten like snacks for the main giving money and all of that.
Sir, yes, we have some outstanding payments from the insurance, and we are discussing with insurance. So, all the papers, even now the law of our hands, the man in charge has not to me. To be the welfare officer we have. So myself and the welfare officer already talking. No, please give us some time. Even we have about 4 or 5 issues for that. Okay, yes.
So at least I have something to tell them.
Please give us some time. Now we are sitting down now. Yes. 2 is of course of observe. Of course, I think we check from the person. We check that over.
Thank you very much. Budget quickly. We are very soon. The food will be here, and you will serve.
Thank you.
Sorry, before we go ahead, now that somebody has mentioned the issue of some of us have crossed the border. Change location address. And has gone to the beautiful river side. So I think we should stand up for 1 minute silence for our late Professor Nwilu. Who are the others? Orequito. And who? No, they are not. We have done that. No, recent one. Recent one. We have talked about recent one. So can you please stand for 1 minute silence? So your reference asking the president for someone is there to keep the time to pray.
Thank you for hearing our prayer. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you very much. So, welfare, I give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Proposed budget estimate for both fellows. Income estimate. Balance brought forward as an usually reflected. I'm not able to reflect the sector. The balance of March, which is 43 million. Sir?
Observation, my chairman. Yes, what's the observation?
I'll give you now.
Yes.
My observation is that this is a budget, and the budget should be presented by the chairman, not treasurer. It's the chief executive. Unless you carry it, it is always the president of Nigeria presenting budget, the governor presenting budget. It is not the finance minister. My chairman, please present your budget.
Thank you. I want Lisa to come and present the budget. Bring it. Go ahead and give me the mic.
Deputy President, past presidents here present. This is the budget prepared by the FNGPC as directed by the board. The balance brought forward as at 21st March is 43,781 naira. That's 7 code. We had some heads that can bring in the funding on funds for this. The subvention from NIS times 3, tea break, other lunch and others will be about 550,000 times 3. traveling and accommodation for past board chairmen from past presidents. All this will now total to about 3,570,000. Executive committee meetings, each of the committees will meet 3 times, and their transport accommodation allowances are presented at the details. The PA to the chairman at 45,000, that one will be monthly. Total A and B will be 24,690,000. The communication charges 1 million. F and DPC investments 750,000 plus 7 is the 1.4 million 470,000. Office accommodation, which has now been allocated to the board in the Secretariat, NIS Secretariat, needs renovation, furniture, and staff allowances. That will be the total there. Welfare of members. This welfare of members is explained because, like we say, it is not a welfare committee issue. It's sometimes we enter into issues of welfare by visiting the elders, that we give them certain token. So this will be budgeted 5 million. Screening committee, 6 million. Other committees, 6 million. Insurance, investigation, investiture ceremony, 15 million. Insurance, 10 million. Adverts, others, 1.5 million. Chairman, office and press, 250,000. Secretary, A of the board, 500,000. Corporate social responsibilities, 250,000. Purchase of laptop, other office things for the new office, 1 million. Miscellaneous, 3 million. Making a gross total of 89,160,000. The difference between the income and expenditure is 39,881 naira and 7 kobo in the positive. Thank you very much.
I, Samuel Alara Olubenga, hereby move the motion for the adoption of the project proposal as presented. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Okay.
I, Samuel LCK Google, having listened attentively, is hereby seconding the motion that the budget for the year be adopted.
A quick look at the giving this accommodation for almost about 2 or 3 years in the secretariat. Do we really need to spend such money? Because if you check the money, it's about 17, no, not together, about 17 million. Okay, 19 million. It's not 13 now. 7 plus 4, plus 2, plus 5. Okay, okay. Yeah, but that one. Do we need to, what are we doing in the secretariat that will make us spend such an amount? Because that is
activities that have cropped up which are not reflected here. In addition to that, are you listening to me? In addition to that, we also have stock shares, which value is about 100 and 50-something million. So it's not as if this expo is depleting their resources. Far from it. What is not there are some explanations. And I'm coming in here because I have the background information. The 43 million that you see as the opening balance is not really cash. Because by the time you add plus or minus the liability, it will come down. So that is probably the explanation I would offer. Okay, office space. The office space, I say, why is it allocated? The office space has been allocated to the Board of Fellows. At first, it was only one office. Later on, it was increased 2 offices. For the last 3 years, nothing has been done. Any of you who is opportune to go and check those offices, nothing has been done. So in this arrangement, the intention is to renovate the place, is to put curtains and put drawers, bookshelves, and other things. Probably what they would have done was attach the bill. But essentially, this is just a proposal. And at the end of every quarter or every meeting, expenditure
One meeting, please.
will be provided. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Well, question, what? Okay.
I'll see question. Chairman number 7. Under income estimates. It says fellows annual dues at 10,000. Have we been paying this 10,000 or is it a proposal? Okay. If it is a proposal, what happens to the 15,000 we are paying for NIS? That is number 1. Number 2, I have not seen our luncheon money, which is 5,000 per member per quarterly meeting. And we are here down at the expenditure, capturing the expenditure. So we have to add the 5,000, which is compulsory. It's compulsory whether you attend or not. So we have agreed on that. My past president, we agreed on that in this hall, that is compulsory. So we need to add it to income so as to have it down in the expenditure. That these are my 2 observations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will try as much as possible and enforce this 5,000 naira long-term fee. At least it will go a long way in solving some of our problems. Thank you.
For those below 70
for those below 70 years. So, Mr. Korede, please. Yes. I think we should move your seat forward.
Our accommodation is much. And I tend to ask, what are they doing? What will they be doing there? What will they be doing there?
There's an error in that figure. Don't worry.
When you look at under expenditure, you look at 2, traveling and accommodation for past residents. Past chairman, there are only 2 past chairmen, if I remember. And they are also past presidents of NIS. There are many functions which is a statutory function of NIS to pick the deal. AGMs, this, that. So to appropriate 3.5 million on my own, I think it is a bit high. Then when we go over to the next page, then I'm of the view that the purchase of laptops for finance officers and secretaries, are they going to be laptops of the Board of Fellows or yes, or is it going to be given to the officers that they are going to hold? I'm of the view that these people have laptops. They should use, like we did during our first tenure, they should use their laptops. And if they cannot, let them go to the business center. That's my own personal view. I could be totally wrong. And we have been pressed for the chairman and the board secretary. Well, and then when we look at, I think as much as possible, we should try to, I don't want to make comment about 15 million for the investigation. I'm looking at a situation, most of the time when we have problems in function, it is as a result of the fact that I don't know.
Because there are 10% of fellows of the institution. And this money has been a bone of contention to me. That money didn't belong to NIS. As soon as they receive it, it's statutory. It should be sent to the board directly. But rather than sending it to the board, the president that I work with decided to flout the constitution. Because the bylaws is quite clear on this issue. So I'm particularly perturbed because if they are giving you 1 million naira and you are paying 50 million naira to them on accommodation, that didn't make any sense to you. 15 million. Yes, because it says there renovation, 7 million, furniture, 2 million. If you add all those things together, it's something. It's 13, is it? So that didn't make much sense to me. And I also noticed from previous work that the board is the one paying the allowances of deputy president. Why? The deputy president is there in his statutory post as being the deputy president. Is the officer of the institution. The institution should pay that expense. Has nothing to do with the board at all. So please look into that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me answer a few of these questions. Number one, the deputy president is not collecting any fund from the board.
No, well, it's here in this thing that you gave to me.
That's a mistake. Like I told you, we just have to present something. I said this budget that we are preparing now, just to give you an estimate, an idea of what item we are spending money on. Because you see the idea of the secretariat, if you want to do that one thoroughly, you need to go and price the things that you need to put there and then put into the budget. We will do that before the AGM and you will get a thorough budget. So, you see, what we are doing here, don't mind if anybody put 20 million naira for maybe we are going to spend the money. We are not going to allow that to be issues that we are going to cause and you can price in the market. So it's not a rocket science. So we are not going to spend money anyhow and you will get good money and value for your money. Be rest assured. Let's close this and go to other areas. Thank you. No, not on budget again. No, the food out. That's why I'm worrying you people to want to go to hunger. We run through it and then we go and eat. Hello? Okay, fine. That means screening committee, we are not that. Creation of additional. Well, the creation of additional standing committees, I think that is accepted. Okay. Review of bylaws is accepted. We are going to review the bylaws. Yes. Creation of presentation of the board's budget. We have done that. Fellows elect investiture. Well, preparation is in top here. The committee for that met and it's ongoing. If you have any information for you on that, some budget and so on, we will post it. The date for this is going to be mentioned by second.
The investiture ceremony of the fellow elects is coming up on May 11th of May in Abuja here. So we get information for you on the platform. That's what we are working.
We are working on it.
We have a particular work, but we want to go there and select the best.
Thank you very much. The next item is the implementation of the principles and tenets of the motivational lecture. I think nobody is opposing that. That thing will be handled by the Research and Development Committee. Yes, the next one is other business. Any other business? Yeah? We have moved it. Any other business? What is it? Now, any other business, number one. Well, we thank God that today we are holding this meeting with thanksgiving to God. For 2 weeks ago, up to the 8th of March, one of us was in captivity. He was captured by kidnappers in the name of Dr. Ida. By the grace of God, she was released. Is she around here? Come out. Let them show you that it is real. Let them see you to show that it is real.
Live and direct. Live and direct.
Everything. We pray for her.
Lisa, let me say this. It will give us honor for our fathers to pray. The women have been praying. So we want to ask our father, Reverend Pastor Ayede, who is the one that pushed women is already to be on council. So I welcome you with love. Thank you, sir.
May the Lord continue to keep us safe from harm and danger. We commit our country into your hand, Father. It was not like this before. Father, we pray that those who cause people to cry, you will put an end to them in the name of Jesus. As we go forth, we will just continue to say thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Son. And thank you, Holy Spirit. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. The peace and grace of God continue to be with you. Amen. And may His presence follow you everywhere you go. Amen. Now and forever.
Amen. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you for
the distinguished fellows, I must say a big thank you to each and every one of you for standing there for me. Prayers. God actually has favored us evidently. I'm alive. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
For supporting women in surveying. We had our 18th national conference about 2 days ago, and it was a big success because you supported us. We saw you as our pillar, you supported us, we leaned on you, and you didn't make us so much shame. We are most very grateful. Thank you for having us at heart, for always being there for us. Thank you, we are most grateful, sir. My chairman, sir, we celebrate you, thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for being part of WIS, because we know that without WIS, without you, we can never be in existence. And Daddy, for the platform you provided for WIS to be on council, thank you so much, sir. We are saying thank you, sir. Baba oh, Akwe Daddy. Baba oh, Akwe Daddy. So on this note, we are here this afternoon. We were meant to launch this, our 5th edition of the WIS Gamma at the conference. But because of the tight schedule, we could not get it done as expected. It was done at the dinner because we had a very wonderful dinner later in the evening of that day. But we felt it is still very appropriate for us to bring it here before our own board, for you to launch it for us and to declare it marketable from this moment. Okay, I would love to call on the incoming national coordinator of WIS.
Distinguished fellows, I'm sure the board chairman will give you a special opportunity to congratulate me on my new position. The election was not easy, but I triumphed. And you can see I'm here with my distinguished past coordinators to bring to you a WIS Gamma, the 5th edition. In a profession where we say we should try and publicize ourselves and we are trying to encourage national body to go into publication, I think it is heartwarming that the subgroup between the year 2015 and 2023 has produced 5 editions of a world-class magazine. As we clap for them, I believe that we should also, since you all believe in alternate dispute resolution, there is nothing wrong in having an alternate means of appreciating them. And that's why they have come to you, the pillars of the profession, for support. Remember, for every couple that they raise on this magazine, it is going to be used for their core areas, which is creating awareness, developing the girl child, and promoting the profession through this. Church mind. I wish everybody was clean like me. And myself and someone want to change.
Five copies for
that 5,000. If the cost price is 5,000, no fellow should pay nothing less than 10,000. If the cost price is 5,000 and you are launching me, no fellow 25 or 5,000 is not acceptable, sir. It's not acceptable. Minimum of 10,000 if the cost is no fellow should buy, you pay less than 10,000 for that thing of pay.
Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are hungry and want to go for lunch. But Mr. Chairman, sir, since we are now in Abuja and we have the Deputy President here, we also have the Secretary General somewhere around here. I don't know if it will be out of place to ask how far they are prepared well for this year's state year. Thank you very much, sir.
Can you please let us have silence? Oh yeah, yes, for your solace. For your solace, I am not going for you.
Mr. Chairman, sir, what I said.
Come up here, come up here. You are not, I can hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I said was that now that we are in Abuja, I will have national officers, even if the president is not around. I believe it's not out of place to ask how far we have gone about the preparation for this year's again, which is just about 2 months ago. AGM for this year, how far has the NIS gone with the preparation? Where is the venue? What are we expecting?
Somebody has pointed out that the breach of the Constitution by the Council of NIS, and if this thing is not discussed now, it might continue. The Constitution states that the annual AGM, please let's be seated. The annual AGM of the institution will be within the first quarter, between the second quarter. Within the second quarter. And the tenure of any government is within 2 years. The president administration took over in May. Approach the budget being run by the present administration of NIS. No budget was presented to the NIS. So there are certain things the president promised during the last 8 years that will be implemented and will be done.
Can you please hold on? Can you hold on with me? Hello, fellows, please.
This matter has come to the knowledge of past presidents, and the past presidents had counseled the president that he must do all in his power to comply with the terms of the Constitution. Regardless, my friend, I can't speak, regardless of whatever excuses they may have. And the 2 terms of the Constitution are one, that the AGM is held within the first quarter, and they have moved that to within the first quarter. And the second condition is that the term of the administration of the executive is 2 years. The president has been counseled, but it doesn't seem as though any of them is listening. When I say any of them, I'm talking about the president, the deputy president, the vice president, international, the vice president, national, and members of the executive, because they were all aware of the position of the past president. My comment here now is simple. They have 2 options. One is to move the date of the AGM within the 2-year tenure of their term. That's one option. The other option is if they choose to uphold the present date, the president should be aware that he will not address that AGM because he will no longer be the president of the institution at that time. That is the situation. Those concerned can take the message to him and review it. But I think that it is more honorable just to move the date of the, it's still not too late to move the date of the AGM within the 2-year tenure allowed by the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank you for the comments. Any other comments? Any other comments? Okay. Can you?
You know, I have my worry. The president is a fellow of the Institute.
Please speak to the microphone.
The president is a fellow and is not in this meeting. How do we enforce the decision on NIS? Because I believe that fellows are superior to NIS, at least the members. And if it is so, how do we enforce the decisions on the NIS? How do we enforce our decision of fellows on the NIS? What my father is saying is that we should move the meeting to April, May, or June. Can that be done? Is it a possibility? How do we enforce it? We shouldn't rise up from here without taking a firm decision on the matter. Thank you.
Yes, for decision as of now does not want to respect anybody, and indirectly he is not respecting himself, because like somebody said, he is the symbol of this institution. He is the face of the institution, and he must do things right at all times. Imagine what he went through at the AGM at Ekiti. When he was told, you did this something, I apologize. You did that one, I apologize. He apologized so many times, like Baba Guru said, Olule, 3 times. That is not what is expected of the president of my institution. I've seen people work as president here. He was the president. 2, 3 people here are past presidents. And they work. 4 people, I think I've just seen something on the camera. He's dressed like a cowboy. This, look, we must face reality. The leadership is, I want to mind my words, but it's not behaving well. Let me just say it's not my mind. And I will. I know they're putting warning me. We will relax. Mr. General,
You're calming down.
we have a problem on our hands. We have a problem on our hands. Continue. The AGM, whether we like it or not, are not hold in 2 months' time. And it's a successful AGM. Because of people now, sir, they don't have a hall. They don't have a hall. They don't have a venue. That is a shame. I have thought that 6 months to the AGM, everything will be. You have a checklist of things that you will do, and you need to tick them. But that has not happened. And now we will run an AGM that is starting to be a shame for all of us. No, sir. So I want to recommend, sir. I want to suggest, sir, that we let the AGM hold at the time fixed by the council, but the president must hand over to the deputy on the 27th of May. No more, no less. Thank you, sir.
Very well. You are not talking. Well, thank you very much. I think, no, just a minute. You see, there's a problem in my place. that. It's not an Igbo program. If you throw a knife up 3 times, we land down on the flat side.
Very nice. It's a fan.
You throw it up 3 times or 4 times, you will still lie down on the side. So, please, one more contribution from Wiz, and we will close it. Please choose who you want to talk. Who has not talked before?
Deputy President, other members of the ESCO, Vice President of the Institutional Distinguished Colleagues. It's very easy for me to talk after Sovio Prince Shulisi just spoke. I feel very relieved because I know where he was coming from. Actually, without me saying, nobody is happy with what we are having in terms of administration. And I know that was where the only was coming from. But if we try to suppose it with what we have and our position, all I believe that the Board of Fellows can do is to advise very strongly, but advise very strongly, but advise. And if it is that, no syntax error, thank you there. And if it is that, I think we are there already. If you ask me, we had a particular period before for the AGL, and after the letter of the past presidents brought, we got another period. I'm not calling it days because it's not just the days. We got another period. I think with the way things are, aside from the assertion I just made about our advisory role, the other one is that the Board of Fellows cannot be seen as the body that will do what we seem to be insinuating. Otherwise, we will never know where it will end. And it shouldn't be Board of Fellows that should start that kind of a thing. In the light of that, I think we should just let the sleeping dog lie, but be on the lookout for what the presentation will be like at the AGM. Some other things could happen at the AGM. Thank you very much.
But what we are seeing is that this body cannot seem to support illegality. Cannot be seen to support illegality at all times, irrespective of what happens. We have said so this is mentioned 2 things that, well, they can do it, but the president is no longer president after the expiration of his time. So the AGM can hold it in July, but he will no longer be our president. That is the issue. So if you are saying advise, yes, we advise, but you can take decisions binding on us. I think to be sentimental and be advice, it's not the issue. We must take a stand. Otherwise, we are losing our authority and integrity. We have to keep our integrity. Period. Thank you.
They need a drink.
Sorry?
I have this premonition that they did something to the past president. Because I can see them drinking water. I'm worried about that.
I will tell it to one, don't worry. So gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen.
Standing on the existing procedure and the house, we should know that we have a different NIS today. We have wits among us. And wherever women are, we don't allow things, to be destroyed. How many years has it taken us to build NIS to this level? It's not easy to build, but it's so easy to destroy. Don't let us destroy what we have built for so many years. Please, I am appealing. You have women here. We cannot be here and let you do what you are planning to do. I am on my knees. Please, allow him to land safely. Please. He has given June 19 to 21.
He is defending the Constitution a lot.
It is COVID defect. Yes, things have not stabilized. Yes, things have not stabilized. I want to know the motion, please.
No, sir. On motion of words, please don't put a motion. Please, no motion.
Maybe my aunt here, she doesn't really understand what we are saying. If she can just answer one question, where is the venue of the AGM? AGM is just 2 months away. Then where is the venue? I know how long it took us to convince Mr. Agada of Chida Hotel to reconsider us for that period. Now he gave us an invoice. We were expecting the ESCO. You see the ESCO, what they are saying now, I will not say the whole ESCO. Maybe they don't want to leave. Yes. If you have not paid for that fund by now, you are not sure of getting it again during that time. Which means either we postpone the AGM or we don't have the AGM. The NOC, they have worked, reaching reports to the ESCO. Whether the report has been discussed, we don't know because there is no feedback. The only feedback we know is that no money has been paid for the hall. And we said, when you are taking us, or when the ESCO is suggesting, no parking space, no space for food vendors, the hall will not take more than 1,300 or maximum 1,500. And we know what happened in it. It will want at least up to 3,000. If we can have also no parking space, you can park along the road and the municipal will come and clamp your car. It's as bad as that. So for now, no more. If we don't take this serious, for the president to react to what the LOC is the report the LOC is giving, then I don't know. So if we are planning to have that AGM, then this is the time to act. Because by the time the council will be meeting, it will have been late. Thank you.
It's a different dimension now that I'm getting. I think somebody is, you see, when you say,
Now let me say something. When it's been said that we are trying to destroy, it's not a good statement at all. What are we destroying? We are upholding the integrity of the board, and we are not destroying anything. If people misbehave and you are patting on the back, you are encouraging bad behavior. If we cannot encourage bad behavior, why are we here? This is the cadre of people here, our fellows. This is where, and these people are talking about our fellows, 60% of them. And they cannot obey simple instructions. Now, another dimension is being pointed out here now, that they don't want to hold the AGM. They don't want the AGM to hold. How? Because they say they should pay for the hall, they have not paid. No menu. They want everything, instead of us you saying that we want to destroy it. They want to dabble everything. They don't want an election year. They don't want to hold AGM. What are they doing? Why are we not paid? So somebody has a hidden agenda, and we must stand that the president should hand over on 27th of May, and then we can continue our visit in September. Thank you.
Therefore, bring something with it.
Our past presidents, they are present. I want to go the way of the Yorubas that we say that you are for your. We have the elders. I will do the interpretation before the end. In the Bible, there are two women that has their children and they slept. One ran over her child, the child died. She exchanged. And in the morning, they started fighting. I own the living one, you own the dead one. And the one that had her child, who ran over her child and died, insisted that let us divide the living and the dead. And this is where we are now. If the leadership is faulty, there's no doubt about that. We are in council, and we know what we see in council. I want to plead with this house that we allow this administration, let them learn the way they want to learn. The president does not have anything to lose if NIS is in chaos in June. If all the fellows decide to abandon AGM, if all the past presidents decide to abandon AGM, he doesn't have anything to lose. But you have worked hard to bring us to this level. I want to plead with us. It is even at the AGM that we can take actions. I think it was past president Oyebola that saved the president from impeachment in Ado-Ekiti. We can still take actions at the AGM. But if there is no...
Mr. Chairman, I suggest we adjourn this meeting.
All protocols, my name is from Enugu. The issue at hand now is very sensitive, and all of us here, each and every one of us here is representing a constituency, and we are carrying a message home. My branch has given a directive that if you are going to AGM, you must have paid by tomorrow, so that they will have enough logistics to get accommodation. But if I go home today and tell them this is what we are saying now, that we are not sure of what is going on, there is a problem. I'm therefore trying to say, can the past president and the ESCO of Board of Fellows, resolve this issue before the end of next week. That is what I'll get back to us.
honestly, it's a very, very, very sad situation. Where between the devil and the deep blue sea, and it's very unfortunate that we are at this level. Probably if you had impeached the president at Adobe, you would not be talking what they are talking about. And that's on the other side. Anyway, the issue on hand now is so pathetic. When the LOC says they have a venue and they ask the president to pay, he doesn't want to pay. He wants to select his own venue. It's not done. The LOC has done certain things. That's why we have the LOC. That's why we have LOC. I never had a hand in selecting any venue, any hotel when I was president. It doesn't concern me. I had an LOC. And I could sleep with my two eyes closed. That's why I am what I am. It's unfortunate that when people act, they don't think outside the box. They think as if there is no tomorrow. So, the issue is this. Want to take a picture? I am Lunas. So, bring the meeting to a close. Ramadan.